What is up, awesome people? Are you ready to blaze your way to glory and watch the sparks fly when you battle with the cards from the Pokemon trading card game X and Y Flashfire expansion? Ignite the action with a firestorm of fire-type Pokemon and watch your opponent's terrified double take as the awesome Mega Charizard EX makes its scorching debut in this breathtaking expansion. Your explosive adventures will continue as your foes flee the field with certain doom flashing before their eyes. Alrighty, so the new X and Y Flashfire expansion contains over 100 cards, including 5 new Pokemon EX and 3 new Mega Evolution Pokemon. And this will all hit the stores, probably this is the American date, not too sure about the Australian date, May 7th, 2014. So, things to look forward to in this new expansion. We are getting 2 powerful versions of Mega Charizard EX, 1 Fire-type and 1 Dragon-type, and more. So, we're going to get 3. So far they have not revealed the final Mega Evolution, which is going to make me quite suspenseful. I want to know who this final Mega is. I'm glad to see they finally brought in Mega Charizard. We did see Mega Venusaur and Blastoids in the X and Y expansion, so this will be pretty intense seeing 2 powerful cards making their way into the trading card game now. So along with those, we are getting 5 new EX cards. Obviously one of them is Charizard EX, which will lead the charge of powerful new Pokemon EX to battle. We're also getting 25 new Pokemon from the Pokemon X and Y series who will appear in this expansion, plus 15 new trainer cards, so new item, supporter and stadium cards to help bring new depth and play strategy to competitive battles. So far we have seen spoilers for 3 cards and that's it. So obviously the 2 we're going to be seeing are the Mega Charizards, plus a very interesting card who may actually change the metagame for the trading card game. So the first one is Mega Charizard EX, the Fire version, and this thing does one thing it does very well, and that's massive damage. This Fire-type Mega Evolution Pokemon has only 1 attack, but it's an absolute doozy. Crimson Dive does a devastating 300 damage, enough to topple the most sturdy Pokemon. Crimson Dive does come with a hefty energy cost, and it does 50 recall damage to Mega Charizard, but with that 220 health to start with, this Pokemon can take damage nearly as well as it can dish it out. So a more closer look at this card, it's got 220 health, it's a fire card and does evolve from Charizard EX. We've got 2 rules here going. We've got Pokemon EX rule, which of course when it's knocked out the opponent takes 2 prize cards instead of 1, plus the Mega Evolution rule going, which when you evolve this card you need to end your turn straight away, so it's like making an attack. And as we mentioned, its only move is Crimson Dive, doing 300 damage, requires 2 fire energy and 3 energy cards of any type, and does 50 damage to this card. So the more minor details which people don't usually look at, its weakness is to water, it's got no resistance, and its retreat cost is nothing. It's only got 1 retreat cost, which is very small for an EX card. It's number 13 of 106, it's a rare holo EX card, and it's from the Flashfire series, of course. Alright, so the next card that we've been given a spoiler to is a Pyro card, which is very interesting. Because EX Pokemon have become heavily featured in tournament scenes right now, a lot of decks are filled with basic Pokemon. This card can dramatically slow the advantage. It's a stage 1 Pokemon whose intimidating main ability protects it from damage done by your opponent's basic Pokemon. So the Xerneas EX that does 140 damage won't leave a scratch on Pyro. Pyro also has some bite to it with a Scorching Fang attack, does a base 60 damage with the option to kick it up to 90 if you discarded a Fire Energy card. So a more closer look at Pyro, it's got 110 health, it's a stage 1 Pokemon, evolves from Litleo, of course it's a fire card. Ability, as we mentioned, is Intimidating Main, prevents all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's basic Pokemon, and its only move is Scorching Fang, 60 plus damage, requires 1 Fire Energy and 2 Energy cards of any type. You may discard a Fire Energy attached to this Pokemon. If you do, this attack does 30 more damage. Its weakness is to water, no resistance, retreat cost is 2, which is more than what the EX card has, which is very interesting, and it's number 20 of 106, and it's a rare holo. Alrighty, so the last card that's been shown to us is Mega Charizard EX, and this is the Dragon version. So like the Fire-type version, the Dragon-type Mega Charizard EX has a furious attack that does an incredible 300 damage in Wild Blaze. Wild Blaze is a pretty hefty energy requirement, and you must discard 5 cards off the top of your deck. But when you start knocking out your opponent's Pokemon each turn, those drawbacks will probably be a little concern as you march towards victory. And again, a close look at Mega Charizard EX, the Dragon version. Again, 230 health, it's a Dragon card, evolves from Charizard EX. Again, the two rules we need to look out for is the Pokemon EX rule. When knocked out, your opponent takes 2 prize cards instead of 1. And the Mega Evolution rule, when you evolve this Pokemon into Mega Charizard EX, you'll need to end your turn straight away. Again, exactly like attacking. And its only move is Wild Blaze, deals 300 damage, requires 2 Fire Energy, 1 Dark Energy, and 2 Energy cards of any type. Discard the top 5 cards of your deck. And its weakness is to Fairy, 3 Energy cards as a retreat cost, which is pretty big. And, oh, look at that, it's number 69 of 106, and it's a Rare Hollow EX card. Rightio, so my thoughts on this deck is, holy crap, the 2 Megas are really powerful, and Pyro is going to be very interesting, and can probably change the metagame pretty much. A lot of decks, when they start off, if you can get Pyro straight off the bat, then, my god, you've got an advantage straight away. Having no basic cards doing no damage to Pyro, a lot of EX cards like Charizard EX, Xerneas EX, Evantal EX, for example, cards that deal out a lot of damage straight off the bat, they're not going to do absolutely anything to this thing. Unfortunately, Mega Evolutions will get past this, but in the meantime, while they've got a basic EX card on the field, they're going to do absolutely nothing to Pyro. So Pyro is going to be a massive counter to EX cards, which is great. We don't usually see a lot of good counters to EX cards, so Pyro will definitely be a very overused card now. Scorching Fang isn't exactly a weak move either. Discarding an energy card will bring it up to 90, which isn't shabby. That's actually pretty decent. That will knock out a lot of basic cards and nearly one-shot a lot of Pokemon EX cards as well. I think most EX cards have 130, maybe 180 health, so for 180, that's a 2-shotter with discarding an energy card. So to combine that with like Superior Energy Retrieval, where you grab 2 energy cards from just discard pile. You can even combine it with Super Rod and grab all 3 energy cards from your discard pile. Just keep bringing them back into your deck. That'll work really well with Pyro. In regards to the Megas, my only advice would be get rid of their EX cards straight away. Do not let these things evolve. If you do, then deal as much damage as you freaking can to them, especially the Fire version of Mega Charizard. 50 damage to itself can be pretty hefty with only 220 health, so that's a 5 hit from itself. That's not including any damage done to Mega Charizard, so if you can deal some damage while it's dishing out 50 to itself, that's probably the best counter to Mega Charizard that I can think of. As for its Dragon counterpart though, probably hit it with a Fairy type move, or try and deck the other person out, because they do have to discard the top 5 cards of their deck to be able to use Wild Blaze. So if you've got cards like Professor Juniper, I think it is, where you discard your hand and draw a new hand, yeah, that's probably moves that I can think of. Or you've got cards that discard from their deck as well. I can't think of it at the top of my head, but Professor Juniper is the one that I'm thinking of that will help deck out your opponent quite quickly. So relying on them while that Mega Charizard's discarding 5 cards from their deck as well, that's going to be a pretty hefty cost to their deck. That's probably the only counter that I have to Mega Charizard X Dragon form at this point in time. Or just hitting it with some pretty hard Fairy type moves. Xerneas would be a great one for that. Yeah, there's not a lot of counters to that I can think of. Pyro definitely would need to hit that with anything that isn't basic. So, stage 1 Pokemon that's water would get rid of it pretty quickly, actually. Or attacking while it's on the bench. I think that would still work because it's going to be considered an effect, not an actual Pokemon move. Alright, so while we're on the topic of Pokemon trading card news, this is actually coming from Cerebi. Cerebi has only recently announced from the, I think it's from Korokoko magazine, Korokoro, I think that's what it's called. There has been images to confirm that there is going to be another deck being released after the Flashfire series, and that is going to be called Rising Fist, which is going to be released in Japan on June 14th. So this one is going to be revolving around Mega Lucario, and it has 96 cards in it, and that's the only details that we know of this new deck. So when there's more details released on this deck, I will do another update video on that as well, just to keep you guys informed. I was going to be covering like any tournaments going on, but since they don't really apply to myself, there's probably no point. But if you want to find out more about tournaments and all that, the official Pokemon trading card site through the Pokemon site will give details on that and any information in regards to signing up and all that. But yeah, I will definitely be covering the new Flashfire series when it comes out on the trading card game online. Hopefully, if Australia gets them out on time, I may not see it coming out in the next couple of months. And unfortunately, thanks to where I live, which sucks balls pretty badly, because I love opening up the new decks. But if I can't get them on time in real life, I will definitely cover them online to the best of my ability. So, next month, that'll be definitely coming to my channel, will be the new Flashfire series. So what do you guys think of the new Flashfire series, and even the new Rising Fist deck coming out after that? Which new Mega would you like to see from the Flashfire series? What are your thoughts will be the remaining Mega from that, and the Megas from the new Rising Fist deck as well? I want to hear what you guys think, as well as any details that I've provided in this episode in regards to new Mega, as well as Pyroar. I don't think we'll get any more spoilers in regards to any other cards from this deck until the deck is actually released. So, as I said, I'll cover it to the best of my abilities when it does come out, and I'll give any more information that comes out as well in the meantime. So, yeah, any thoughts, any comments, etc., leave them in the comments, in the comments section below, and I'll read them, and I'll see what you guys think. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to some overpowered cards, that's for sure. So yes, that's it for this update video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll hopefully release a few more of these later on in the future as well. I want to try and keep updates up to date for trading card game, as you guys probably have already realised. I'm a big fan of this game, and I always look forward to opening up new expansion packs. So yeah, until the next episode of my card opening series, or a player versus player, this is LadyKrimZen saying ciao for now, but not forever. Ciao!